Hi everyone, we're going to take a look at Bubble 11 and this is going to talk about mouse clicks. So we're going to run this and see what first happens. And doesn't look like anything's going here, but could be my internet is running slow. So while we wait, let's take a look at what it's talking about. It talks about key presses are great, but sometimes you want the user to interact through mouse clicks. So hopefully you have a mouse. And there's a new block called mouse down. So when we're clicking, basically, which is similar to key down, it checks whether or not the left or right mouse buttons are being used. So you guys have left and right. If you are using a computer with a mouse or a trackpad that only has one button, you'll want to always use mouse down left, or in this case, maybe a track button. But you guys can borrow mice from my room, and this will help you do this assignment. So here in the program that drops a balloon down the screen, you're going to program the mouse button to raise the balloon back when you click on the mouse, okay? So we're going to add an if-else statement that checks for the mouse down, and inside the conditional, we're going to move up the balloon up 1 pixel if the mouse is down. So if we're moving it down, again, we're going to be adding to y. Don't forget that. So our challenge, can you make the balloon drift randomly to the left and to right as it rises and falls? Okay, so let's run. So right now my balloon is just falling down. Have it go slow first, guys. So stay with the +1. And then let's take a look at what we need to do. So first and foremost, they're telling us that we need an if statement. Okay. So I'm going to grab an if statement. In fact, I need what? An if-else statement. That's what they tell us. So I'm going to go to Control. I'm going to grab the if-else statement, and I'm going to put it right underneath the gray here. And then it's going to say, hey, oops. Ugh. Grab my if-else statement. And now they're saying, hey, if the mouse is down, and I'm going to do mouse down left because I have a trackpad. So I'm going to do mouse down. It's going to be in the yellow. Mouse down. So if the mouse is down, and I'm going to do left, I want the balloon to, so I need variables here, and I want my balloon dot y to go up. So if I'm clicking with my left, or sorry, if I'm clicking with my mouse, it's going to go up, which means we're subtracting from y, else we're going to go down. So I need that variable dot y. It's going to be in sprites. My sprite is called balloon. My balloon.y, and I need some math. And again, I'm subtracting, so I'm going up. And it's going to be balloon.y. And we're subtracting 1. And then if I'm not clicking, it's going to go down. Okay, so let's run. So when I click my mouse, or at least for my mouse pad, you notice how if I keep clicking, it kind of stops it, but it's fighting it. So I can actually change this instead of 1. Maybe I want it to be 5. And reset. Cool. So that is how we're kind of stopping the balloon from falling. Now they did ask, hey, can I make it drift as it's falling? So to do that, we're going to talk about the X value, remember? So if I wanted to kind of move left to right, I'm going to grab my variable here. And I am going to do this. And I'm going to do it before I draw it. But I'm going to do it after the if-else statement. I'm going to grab my sprite, and we're dealing with the X value, left and right. And I'm going to call upon my variable or my picture of the balloon, balloon.x, and now I'm going to use some random numbers. So I'm going to use a random number. And I'm going to make it between, I don't know, 190 and 210, maybe. Let's see what that does. Okay, I'm going to run this. It's kind of herky-jerky, but you notice there. I can make it do bigger swings because it's really a small amount that it goes between 190 and 210. So maybe instead of 190, I do 140. It's still pretty glitchy. So you could probably change this Y value as it's falling to 5. Let's see what that does. So it goes a little bit faster, but it's not perfect. We could mess around with this if we wanted. Maybe change the frame rate so it slows it down a little bit too, so it's not so jerky. But that's up to you. So that's bubble 11. And we're going to move on to bubble